Hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. So I'm doing a little bit of a different video today. I'm in my kitchen. I'm going to be demonstrating and actually making in real time some protein balls. And what protein balls are they are a really healthy, awesome snack that you can have while you're exercising, or you can have them during the afternoon or any time that you need a little pick-me-up. So I'm going to first tell you what is in the recipe, and then as normal, as I am going to show you some exercises you can do while you're cooking, while you're in your kitchen. And then I'll also be telling you the importance of protein as well. So the protein balls that we're going to be making have a lot of ingredients. The main ingredient, and if you do want to follow along with me, you can. The main substance that you're going to be putting in is we've got our oats. So you'll need some rolled oats to be in those protein balls. Another part that really makes it full of protein is having some protein powder. So I use the Shockley Life Shake, and this is a chocolate protein powder, so it makes the protein balls really rich. So you'll need that. I also have, finishing off a peanut butter, and I also have an almond butter, so I'm going to be adding those to the protein balls. Now, if you do have allergies, or let's say you're making this for family and you have allergies, you can use sunflower seed butter or an alternative. I also have some coconut, so I'm going to add some coconut to the protein balls. And honey. So honey is really great. It's what makes everything stick together. And then I'm going to be adding some little fun things as well. So I've got some pumpkin seeds that I'll add. And then I also have some cacao nibs. So these are little bits of chocolate. So I'm going to be adding that. So basically it's really simple. All you need to do is get a bowl, and you want to fill the bowl with all of the goodies. So I'll tell you about how much you're going to need of each. And then I'll be making it with you. So, but first, as we get into it, actually, I'll talk and do. When you're thinking about, why, do we need protein in our diet? What's the importance? I do want to talk about that because that is really important. All right, so you're going to need about a cup. We'll start with a cup of the rolled oats. So what protein does, what happens is as we get older, as you're aging, one thing you may notice is that you're not as strong as you used to be. You may find that your muscles are not, maybe you're losing some strength, maybe you're losing some of that muscle tone as well. So meaning that, you're wearing your shirt and you're noticing your arms look different. So visually you may notice a difference, but also physically you may feel like it's harder to do things around the house. So those are good things to be noticing. And the reality is as you're aging, people who hit 30, they start to lose a lot of their muscle mass and their muscle strength. So if you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s or even older, then you may notice, and if you haven't been exercising in a while, you may notice that you have lost a lot of that muscle. And that's why it's so important to exercise. That's why it's so important not just to go for walks, but it's really important to do some kind of strengthening exercises, whether it's using weights, whether it's using a resistance band, or using your body weight. But we really need to focus on maintaining those muscles. All right, next ingredient is the protein powder. So this protein powder, it comes with a scoop, just like this, you'll see. And when I'm also working on a smoothie right now. So I made a chocolate smoothie, so I'm finishing up that. It had 2 scoops of the protein in it. But for our energy balls, for our protein balls, you'll want to have 2 scoops of this. So 2 scoops of the protein powder. What I love about this protein powder, this is the Shockley protein powder. What I love about it, it is good for so many people because it is good for diabetics. It's low glycemic, so that means it doesn't have much sugar in it. It has 20 grams of protein per serving. So we've got 20 grams of protein in these little bites that you're going to eat. Well, I'm going to eat. You're not. Sorry. It's vegan. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, no cholesterol. So really, really a good way to get a good meal in. And it has lots of vitamins and minerals as well that you need for digestion. And then finally, what I really love about it too is that there's something called leucine in this protein powder, so it helps you to maintain your muscles. And that's really, that's a different, a specific type of protein that we really need to have in order to stay nice and strong. All right, so up to this point, I've added the protein powder and I've added the rolled oats. So next I'm going to add some coconut. Now usually I just eye it, but we'll go for a tablespoon or so, a heaping tablespoon. All right, maybe another one. Yeah, so what I love about these protein balls is you can add whatever you want. So I've added raisins or craisins in the past, and that really makes it good too. All right, and then I've got my cocoa nibs. So these are, you can add, I usually add chocolate chips, but I had these in the, today in my cabinet. All right, so I did about a tablespoon or two of those. All right, so I'm really excited. This is one of my favorite snacks, and yeah, I just really like playing around in the kitchen sometimes. Now, I don't really like to bake, which is kind of funny. I love to cook. I don't really like to bake. So what I find with these protein balls is you don't have to bake them. They're just, kind of mix everything together, stick it all together, and then that's it. All right, so I'm adding a good sized scoop of this is my almond butter. Like I said, I'm finishing off both my almond butter and my protein, and my, what's the other one? Peanut butter. Okay, so that one is done. Move to peanut butter, and I am really excited for these. I may even, depends how many I have, I might give some to my clients tomorrow, if I don't eat them all. All right, so now I'm adding the peanut butter. So I've got all my ingredients in here, except last thing is I'm going to add the honey. And honey is really key because adding the honey is what makes it stick together. So if you, let's say you're vegan or you don't enjoy honey, you can't really taste it too much, like everything meshes well together, but you could also use maple syrup. I've done that in the past too. So if you're watching live, send me a hello, let me know that you're watching. This is kind of my first time doing this sort of a video showing you how I make my protein balls. All right, so starting to mix things in. And at the same time, I told you I was going to show you a few exercises you can do while you're in the kitchen, so whether you're cooking or cleaning. So one that is probably the easiest to do right now because I am focused is doing some heel raises. So this is where you're lifting up on your toes, lifting your heels, and then lowering back down. So this is something I can comfortably do. You can even hold on if you need to. But I can do that exercise as I'm mixing up my protein balls. All right, they're not mixing too well, but I haven't added my honey in yet. All right. So I really do recommend, I've been learning more and more about why we need protein in our diets. I've already talked about how it helps us to maintain our muscle mass, but it also helps with our metabolism as well, and also with our energy level, having a high energy level throughout the day. And something I hear about quite often with my clients is that people are pretty tired. They don't have much energy, and when they don't have much energy, they don't feel like exercising. And that becomes a vicious cycle where you don't exercise, and then you don't have energy, and then you don't eat well because you don't have energy to make food, or you don't want to take the time to do that. So what I do recommend is looking at your diet. I get a lot of my clients to write down for a full week what they're eating consistently for every meal and every snack. And that can be very eye-opening. So I do recommend doing that if you're wanting to change your diet or if you're a little bit concerned that you're not getting all of the nutrients that you need. So our body really, it does a lot of work. We need to really fuel it well. All right, so I've mixed in I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks really good. So this is my mixture so far. Now I'm going to be adding my honey, and that's fine. So protein. So protein. I'm multitasking here. Oh my goodness, this is definitely multitasking. So, and this is on really tight. Should have opened it ahead of time. So, very, very tight. I'm going to show you one of my tricks. Hold on. Maybe you know this trick. So this is real time. Okay, so hit the edge using a wooden spoon. Alright. So that didn't work. Another one of my tricks, oh my goodness, this is so funny, is putting hot water over, because I find sometimes when it's honey, the honey has solidified and then your container is stuck. Alright, let's see if this can work. So this is now turning into a comedy show. All right, but I can tell you about protein in the meantime. So I told you already about the importance of looking to see what your meals are looking like. What do your meals look like most of the time? And doing a food journal, that can be really helpful. Something else that can be helpful is to, I got it. There we go. There's my tricks. So there you go. I know there's many people I work with who have a hard time opening jars. So if you didn't catch that, number 1, had a wooden spoon, hit the side of the honey. Number 2, I ran it under hot water, and that's, I think, really what did the trick. So you see, you're not the only one who struggles with opening jars. So what I recommend in terms of, having what your meals should look like is having a source of protein with every single meal that you have. So I'll give you a few ideas, a few examples, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing next since I finally have the honey out. So I've got my protein powder and all of my goodies all mixed in. I've got my honey and I'm going to add I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup and just mix it in as we go. And then I might have to add more. So I'll start with that. It's about a 1/4 cup. So an idea for protein. So I already showed you that one of my favorite, actually what I have every morning is I have a protein shake. And I find it's really easy, it's really great. I add almond milk, I add 2 scoops of the Shockley protein powder, which I know has all of the nutrients I need for the day. And I'll add frozen fruit. I love adding a banana because that makes it really frothy as well. And that's my breakfast. Now, other breakfast ideas, if you're wanting to have other sources of protein, is you can have an egg. I like having an egg and then having more of a savory breakfast. So I might have some whole grain toast. I might even cut up some sweet potatoes and put those, fry those with some kale. So that's another example of a breakfast that you can have that's high in protein. Just so you know, the things are going really well here. Things are going really well. That was a good amount of honey, but I'm going to keep going. I might add a bit more honey shortly. So snack ideas. Snack ideas. If you are wondering what kind of snacks can I have, I have, maybe you tend to have a lot of chips. Maybe you tend to have fruit, but I do recommend having some protein with that as well. So for you, maybe that's getting into the habit of having more vegetables. So one of my little tricks is I like to do my meal prep 1 day a week, and I like to cut up all my vegetables. So I'll get some of the baby carrots, I'll get a celery, peppers, cucumbers. I'm enjoying the small cucumbers these days. I think they maybe are called the Lebanese cucumbers. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those. And then I'll basically cut up all of the veggies. I'll put them in some containers for the week because I know that if things are cut up and ready to go, I'm more likely to eat them. If they're not, if it's too much effort, then we tend to go for what's easy. And that's just human nature and habit as well, and convenience. All right, everybody. This is looking really, really good. I think I just poured the exact amount of honey that I needed into the bowl. I'll show you the consistency now. So here we are. You'll see that things are getting to be a little more moist, which is nice. And definitely it's a combination of so I added 2 nut butters today. I finished off both my almond butter and my peanut butter, but then definitely adding the honey made a really big difference too. So this is a great consistency right now, and I think we're ready to make the balls. I don't even think I need any more honey. I think this is perfect. All right, talk about multitasking right here. All right. So I'm going to finish my thought because I was also talking about protein. So when you're doing your meal prep, you've got your vegetables, you're ready to go. Something I enjoy having with my vegetables is having some hummus. And nowadays you can make your own hummus really easily, or you can buy all sorts of different flavors. And it's really a great source of protein that you can have as well for throughout the day, but definitely as a snack, and then it gets you eating more vegetables too. Okay, so I'm at the stage where my consistency is great, and I'm starting to roll my little balls. So this is the first one. This is the protein ball. And for anyone who's just tuning in, I'll tell you what's in it. So I do have my rolled oats. That's about a cup. I have about a cup of protein powder. I've added in some coconut. I have cacao nibs. I have, what else do I have there? Oh, did I ever add these in? I don't think I did. No. Okay, I want to add in some pumpkin seeds. So I'm gonna add in some pumpkin seeds as well. And then I do have sea salt, which I find is nice to put on the top. That's, it's really nice to add onto the top. So I'm gonna do that as well. But I will add in the pumpkin seeds because I totally forgot because I'm talking and doing. All right, as long as this is easier to open. All right, so I'll sprinkle in that. What I love about this recipe is you can play around with it. I often use a vanilla protein powder. I actually have a pumpkin spice protein powder that I'm excited to try and make a batch of these as well. But basically all you do is you just mix it all together and this is it. So I don't need to freeze it. I don't need to bake it or anything. So it's really, really simple. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some other ideas in terms of nutrition, what else you can do to have more protein in your diet. So if you're thinking about lunch, having a salad is great. I've started making these really nice salads where I'll have my greens, I'll cut up my vegetables, but then what makes it next level is adding seeds and adding some nuts as well. So that's really great. It will help to fill you up a little bit more. Because I find if I just have a salad with nothing really on it, just veggies, I don't really get full because we need that protein to fill us up. And I really notice that. So, so adding pumpkin seeds, like the ones I just dumped on here, I often sprinkle them on my salad, or I'll have different types of nuts. Almonds can be nice. Pecans are nice as well. So, you can really find and choose some good options. But then as well, you can add let's say you bake a chicken. Oh, I'm hearing from Jill. This is just what I need. Place list measurements. Thank you. All right, Jill, thanks for your message. Yeah, I'll definitely put the recipe as well. And I'll definitely share that because these little guys are so great. So great. And they make also, side note, they make a really good, they're a great little snack to bring if you are going to a potluck or a family get-together or something like that. I've done a lot of potlucks in the past. I tend to do that with a lot of my fitness classes that I teach. And I always bring the protein balls. And this was actually a funny story. This one time we had our end of year wrap up. So it was right around Christmas time. And we had, all of these really nice crackers and cheeses and, just some really delicious foods, salads and whatnot. And then I had my protein balls laying out, just like this. And one of the ladies, she took one and she was so excited. And she asked someone, she said, "Oh, where's the dip? Where's the dip for these?" And it was only until she sat down and tried one, she made a face and she said, "Oh my goodness, this is not a meatball, is it?" She thought that these, and look, they kind of look like meatballs, I have to say, a little bit. She thought it was a meatball, so she was a little bit disappointed, but she was also excited because it was something new, but it very much threw her off, so that was pretty funny. So no, these are not meatballs, but they do go very well with, they're very good party pleasers. Good for a snack at a party, or just for yourself, like I said. All right, I'm trying to think here of some other options for protein, other protein ideas. Any kind of, I think we all need to have more omega-3 fatty acids in our diet. So having fish, especially having some salmon, can be a really good way to get that in your diet. That's a good source of protein as well. And then for a while I was vegetarian, so I looked at all sorts of different ways to incorporate protein into my diet. And I started eating more beans and more legumes. So I had a lot more hummus. I would roast chickpeas, or I would put chickpeas over top of my salads. I would make a vegetarian chili where you can have lots of different colored beans. Black beans are really good as well. I would even make like a black bean stir fry and try different things like that. So those are a bunch of ideas for you. I hope that you find that helpful. And especially if you are diabetic, or if you do find that your blood sugar goes up and down. So I have a very fast metabolism, and I do notice, if I don't eat, I find that I get tired. I don't really get headaches, but I can get dizzy if I don't eat regularly. So for me, having regular protein shakes and other sources of protein are really, really important. So if you're in that same boat where you even stand up and you get dizzy from standing up from a chair, then I would say have some more protein in your diet as well. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last one. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at these bad boys. All right, so here they are. These are my protein balls. Now, these are a good size. I would probably just have one along with a banana, or I'd have an apple, but probably just one would fill me up. Now, you can make them smaller. I've done that in the past, especially if I am going to a party. I'll just make them maybe half or even a third of the size because they are quite filling and very tasty as well. All right. So that's that. So I want to encourage you, just to remind you how easy it can be to meal prep. It doesn't have to be hard. This took us about 20 minutes or so, but I was also struggling with the honey. And I'll show you a few other exercises you can do while you're in the kitchen. So one that I really like is a twist. So you can twist from side to side. And this is a good one to do, especially if you are like me, you're kind of leaning over, you're reaching, you might be feeling your back kind of speak to you. So this is a really good one you can do while you're in the kitchen. And you can even do this while you're waiting for your tea or the coffee to brew as well. And the more you take your arms to the side, the more you should feel your back working and stretching. So that's a good one. Another one is really, again, I've been leaning over, and we tend to do that if we're, doing our dishes. So what we can do here is we can bring your arms in front and then squeeze your shoulder blades back. Reaching in front and squeezing your shoulder blades back. And this is a good way to relieve some of that pressure that was on your back, and to be able to, as well, stand a little bit straighter, improve our posture, and to relieve any pain in your neck or shoulders or back. All right, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed. I'm going to try one of these on your behalf. I will definitely put the recipe down in the comments section below. And I want to encourage you, let me know what types of protein you have in your diet. And if you were inspired perhaps to make a list, to write down, do a journal, food journal, write down everything that you have. Don't skip anything, even if it is the chips at 10 p.m., because when we start to realize what we're eating and what we're putting in our bodies, you'll be able to notice, oh, I don't have energy in the morning. Well, what did you eat? Oh, I had nothing. We can start to see that correlation. So yes, thanks so much for joining me for this fun, different type of class. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.